you started your journey in your college career at Boise State, right?
Correct.
And then I guess just talk about your experience with the transfer portal and how has it like affected and benefited you now and where you're at now, you know?
Yeah, man, it's crazy. Transfer portal for me, best decision I ever made. Truthfully, you know what I'm saying? It was great timing for me. I feel obviously I wish I could have been at BYU a little bit longer, you know what I'm saying? But shoot, that's just the way it was going for me, you know, that's just my story, right? But just with that knowledge, man, understanding that and believing in that and believing that, you know, God put me on this earth for that purpose, that's what kind of keeps me going. So if you just remember that, you know what I'm saying, like it's not about you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You can be great, but in order to be great, it can't be for you, man.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So just being intentional with that and remembering that there's a bigger picture to it, and you know, you gotta work for it, you gotta earn it, but it'll be worth it at the end.
Hey, what's up, y'all? Welcome back to Inside the Y with the Center Street Media. I'm Hinckley Ropati, your host.
And this is your co-host, Caleb Etienne. And today we have Isaiah Bagnah. Is that how you pronounce it?
Bagnah.
It's Bagnah.
Okay.
Yeah. A lot of people get it mixed up, but it's pronounced Bagnah.
Okay, Bagnah. Stop.
A little French. You know
to clarify, where exactly is that your last name's from?
Yeah, it's African. So my dad, he's from a little country called Togo, and his dialect, he has it's like a French dialect. So that's pretty much what
my last name is Etienne, and it's like French too. A little bit.
Okay.
So that's kind of unique.
There you go.
Unique name,
you know what I'm saying?
Hey, speaking of French, do you know that Isaiah, you speak French, right?
I do. I grew up actually speaking French. You know, and going to school in a French immersion, but you know. At one point, like 7th grade, I just kind of dropped it. You know what I'm saying? Just went to English school and everything, but I still speak a little bit of French, man. It's a little bit rusty, you know what I'm saying? But
heck yeah, let's go, man. Well, for those who don't know, Isaiah grew up in Canada, right?
Yep.
And so, I guess we'll start off with that as the first question. Like, how is it growing up in Canada and then playing sports? Kind of talk us through your upbringing and your life and how you kind of got it all started and how it was growing up in Canada. Yeah, so
I mean, in Canada, it's pretty similar. First of all, just to how it is here, right? You know what I'm saying? But obviously, there's a little differences, you know. And I don't know, man. It's crazy because football wise is not as competitive or just as big as it is here. You know what I'm saying? So. You know, obviously people are like into hockey, you know what I'm saying, or like baseball and stuff, basketball. But football you don't see a lot of guys going D1, right?
Yeah.
And so it was crazy, man, because I remember like my first offer didn't come till my senior year. And because there was like 10 people in my recruiting class that went to Division 1 out of Canada.
Oh, dang.
And the crazy thing is that only 9 of them were actually in Canada at the time. Most of them went to all of them went to prep schools down in the States. Yeah. So like, I was the only one basically from Canada that went to Division 1 in my class.
Oh, that's crazy.
So that just kind of attests to just like how hard it really is. You know what I'm saying? So it was crazy because one of my homies, he played at UConn, and he's from Canada too. And so he had a great year, you know what I'm saying? So they wanted to keep looking for more Canadians. And, you know, next thing you know, at the time, him and I were the best. When he was in high school, we were the best defensive ends in the country. Oh, and so they just kind of picked up off of that and, you know, sent me my first offer. Yeah. And you know how it goes after you get the first offer, it keeps going, right?
After that.
Exactly, right. But, so yeah, man, but I waited till my senior year to get my first offer. But, you know, I actually decided to go, for those who don't know, I went to Boise State in 2019 as my first school. And that was a cool experience for me. You know, I got to learn a lot. And it was like my introduction to how football is here, honestly, the whole country. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Just different culture. Just, you know.
I just talk about that a little bit. Like,
the different culture. It's a cultural shock, man.
Because obviously, like, you're obviously from Canada, and I'll be honest with you. Like, I've my first encounter with, you know, a Canadian was on my mission when I had other missionaries that were from Canada. And I remember the biggest thing that we used to talk about was just the way they said certain things. Like, I think it was like, one of the biggest things was like the way they say bagel or something like that.
Bagel.
Bagel. And then I'm all like,
bagel,
oh, okay, so like,
bag.
but like, exactly.
Bag,
so it's like, I don't know. I just felt like talk about what are the different, like, I guess like the culture differences or things that you kind of like when you got here, because I feel like there are a lot of similarities, obviously,
right?
But like, what are some things that you were all like, oh, that's different? Like,
I mean, yeah, when it comes down to like just certain slangs, you know what I'm saying, or miles to kilometers, you know what I'm saying? Because
exactly.
you know what I'm saying? Because you see the speed limit sign. I'm like, hold on, I have to like think for a second, right? Temperatures, especially Celsius to Fahrenheit, right? So just adjusting to all that, system, man.
I forget,
but just in general too, man. Like, just with people, you know, and I don't know. I love it personally, but there's different vibe I feel from Canada and here, you know what I'm saying? I feel like a lot of stuff is more extreme in good ways, you know what I'm saying, here, and I feel like in Canada it's just a little more laid back, you know what I'm saying? So kind of adjusting to that, even, coming down to Boise State, I was the only Canadian on my team. And so initially, I'm already kind of like, the Canadian, you know what I'm saying? Just kind of, like alienated from the group in itself. So that I had to, learn to go about, because I've never been the only Canadian in the room before.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's like you go into another country and you being the only, American. Everybody's always asking you like, oh, what's America like with you, all this stuff, right? And so just with that type of stuff, man, you kind of adjust to it, and it kind of just is what it is, right?
It's a norm now.
Yeah, and it's not a bad thing, you know.
For sure.
Everybody's just curious, truthfully, right?
Yeah.
But like that in itself did have a lot of impact on the cultural shock that I was experiencing. You know what I'm saying? Especially initially. So, but I've been here for like 6 years, man.
Yeah,
and like it's crazy. I don't even feel, at this point, I'm just like, I've been here for so long, and I've adjusted and adapted so much that it's kind of like, I feel like, I always tell my homies like I'm a Cali dude at heart, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm a Cali dude at heart, man. Yeah. And so it's weird just to transition, man. But it's been an incredible journey. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't be here without God, man. So
Facts. Amen to that, bro.
Yeah.
Heck yeah. So like obviously you came from. Obviously, you like you mentioned earlier, you started your journey in your college career at Boise State, right?
Correct.
And then I guess I just talk a little bit about that transition. I mean, obviously with the way college football is nowadays, with the transfer portal and everything like that, with it's kind of crazy, how
it is
how
crazy.
much college football has changed. And I guess now that we have like guys that are in the transfer portal, guys that are making that decision, and I think a lot of people get sometimes it comes with like a negative connotation of like, oh man, these guys are leaving for so and so, but I don't think people understand like the opportunities that people are actually out there trying. I guess just talk about your experiences with the transfer portal and how has it like affected and benefited you now and where you're at now,
Yeah, man, it's crazy. The transfer portal for me, best decision I ever made. Truthfully, you know what I'm saying? It was great timing for me. I feel obviously I wish I could have been at BYU a little bit longer, you know what I'm saying? But shoot, that's just the way it was going for me. That's just my story, right? But it's crazy though, man. Entering the portal is, I mean, shoot, you know how it is, man. It's a little bit stressful, you know what I'm saying? And there's a lot of unknown, and you're kind of taking a risk. And I believe in taking risks, not always, you know what I'm saying, but truthfully, you have to in life, right?
Oh, for sure.
And especially in a situation where you can't progress any further, you know what I'm saying? Like you gotta switch it up, right? Especially if you want to reach your goals. And so for me, man, that's exactly what it was, and I got lucky by the grace of God that I got to land at BYU, you know what I'm saying? Especially coming from a Mountain West school. Yeah. And Boise State in itself, I know they don't really like each other, right? So, you know what I'm saying? But, nah, man, it's crazy because I literally sitting there thinking about it yesterday. I was like, man, there's a lot of dudes in the portal, and it keeps growing every. I thought the year that we were in the portal, I thought that was crazy.
No.
Now it's just like
crazy, bro.
Not everybody, but like every team has one. Yeah. Every team, or you know what I'm saying?
I think it's crazy how that's changing the way recruitment's happening. Because think about how they're going to start recruiting from high schoolers, right?
Yeah,
like guys are going into the portal. They can have guys that are ready. That's already has college experience of 2-3 years, whatever it may be. College graduates, you know what I mean? Guys that are ready to come in and already been developed and ready to play. Just think about how more like critique. I feel like how hard it is to get recruited out of high school. You know what I mean? Or how much more they're gonna, harder they're going to criticize the way high school players and deal with that. How deeper they're going to dive into a certain player just to get them. Because now it's like, bro, y'all see it. The money's now is getting involved and all this other stuff. Like it's literally it's becoming more of a business, and the way college is going. I mean, like in my opinion, I think it's, you know, obviously there are the pros and cons. You know what I mean? Because you know, college football, I've watched it for a reason, because I feel like everybody was just hungry to get to the league, because that's where you really make big money. But now that you have that opportunity to make that money now, it's kind of crazy to think about. You know what I mean? Like it's crazy how like that whole switch up now is like. It's changing the landscape of college football in itself.
Changing everything.
It's crazy, bro.
It's really changing everything. But the thing is, too, so I have a question for y'all.
Yeah.
With the transfer pool, like you said, like recruiting high school guys and everything, right? Like that development aspect of it. Do you think that, like, they'll really, like these guys who keep transferring, who keep, you know, being introduced to new cultures, do you think their development would be as, you know, to the extent that it would be if they stayed, you know what I'm saying? And like then left, like stayed for 3 years and then left, you know what I'm saying? Because dudes are just transferring, you know, after the first year or the second year now, you know what I'm saying? Who knows? Even, you know, soon it's going to be like every single year. Right?
Exactly.
And like, how do you really fully develop to the point that you want to be, or that like a program needs you to be, if you don't really, you know, learn those cultural values, truthfully, you know what I'm saying? Or like,
bro, you said it pretty good. You said something that I was like, that in my opinion was like, I think he hit it right on the nail. You talked about how like you felt like your development as a player couldn't go anywhere else when you were at Boise, and you felt like that was the biggest drive in your decision to, you know what I mean, biggest driver in your decision to enter the transfer portal. Right. And for me, I feel like I think that's a great reason to leave. You know what I mean? I mean, like if you feel like your development as a player can no longer, you know, grow, because overall, if your goal is to play in the NFL, the most important thing is to make sure you're as polished as you can be to get to there. You know what I mean? Obviously, they're gonna do whatever they can with you and whatever, but like you want to be the best product you can be after your 4 years or 3 years of playing. You know what I mean? And get to where you want to be. And so, if I feel like I couldn't grow anymore here at BYU, you know, I feel like that would have been the best decision for me. And I think that's what a lot of our guys that has entered the transfer portal from our team, I feel like that's exactly what they're searching for. These are not guys that are hunting for money or trying to look for a check or anything of that sort. Like, we all know these dudes. You know, I mean, we love these guys, man. These guys grinding with us on the offense. The greatest people I've ever met. You know, Cody, Micah, Harper, and you know what I mean. Now Crew Wakely. You know, these guys, man. Like. And like it's for me, it's like I'm so happy for them that they you know, they're able to go out now and look for opportunities where they can continue to grow as a player and get closer to their goals. Ultimately, that's their goal, is to play in the league and to, you know what I mean, to have that as, you know. And so I'm all for it. And I think
I agree, especially now, with the right intention.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what it is.
Now there's a flip side to that, right?
Absolutely.
Because now you also have guys that just transferring probably like every year. Like
every
I know
year,
a couple people who's been, you know what I mean? They've transferred. If they're 1 year here and then 1 year here, and I just feel like that. I feel like, I don't know. In my perspective, there's not enough that's not enough time to like kind of really, I don't know how to explain it, like situate yourself or really learn or grow or something like that. Unless you get into a situation and within a year you find out that this is not just for you, then you know what I mean. I can respect that as well. But I feel like there is some benefit and there is some blessings in not suffering, but in enduring and you know what I mean, character building that happens when you go through adversity.
Facts.
You know what I mean. And I feel like it's not just development as a player, but development as an individual. You know what I mean. But that's like my 2 cents.
I know. You know, being at Oklahoma State for 2 years, the culture is way different here at BYU. So my first year here, I know I had a down, like a bad season, obviously, but you know, I stuck through, never gave in. You know, and just bought in with the culture and just was trying to, you know, I knew my potential, so I was just like, I know it's gonna be better. I know it's gonna get better. So I just, you know, took that risk, and like you said, you gotta take those risks, bro. You just gotta know, just gotta think it out, man. Like, so I was able to just come and be a better person. So that's all that is. That's
a big thing too, though. Too, like you, obviously both of you guys experienced that transfer portal and things of that sort. Like, that's, if you don't understand how big of a risk that is, think about it. Like,
man, especially like for being at one spot for, you know, more than a year or a couple. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's all you kind of know. You know what I'm saying?
Especially establish your roots there a little bit, and then now you gotta like kind of like pick up and go and start somewhere else.
No, exactly. You know what I'm saying? It's like, man, that unknown is kind of crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Whole new playbook. You know what I mean? Everything, and so
the new environment, new people.
Dude, actually, that puts us to our next one. So you obviously play with Ashton Genty, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That guy's a dog. And you know what's crazy? Me and Zay actually talked about this in the summer, and we were talking about Ashton Genty.
We were,
I remember I was asking you at the
yeah.
restaurants. I was like, nah, they number 2, like, because one of the guys that I know that played there, George Holani, he. You know, I was talking to him, and it's like, yeah, he was a great player. Now he's in the league, and it's like, but then we start talking about like, oh, but number 2 is also like, you know, he a dog. You know what I mean? He gonna be different. And I'm like, oh, I believe it. I've already seen it. So like, how was it? I don't know. I guess like, you know, we're not trying to glaze, bro. But like, how was we glazed a little bit. Like, I wasn't playing with like, you know, bro, and seeing him. Are you surprised to see his success now and things of that sort?
I mean, it definitely, you know, exceeded expectations. 100%. I always knew he was gonna be real. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Especially when I first seen him, like he came out and practiced with us, man. You know, he was still a freshman. You know what I'm saying? Like all freshmen, you know, everybody has their own little thing, right?
Yeah.
That they need to work on. But nah, you could just tell this dude had potential, you know.
Yeah.
And he's super humble about it, man. He's super cool. You know what I'm saying? I love that kid, man. He's a good kid. He deserves it. You know what I'm saying? Like even to see how he's adopted, you know, the aspect of religion and having a relationship with God and Jesus Christ, man. Yeah, I knew it was over after that. As soon as he got baptized, man, I knew it was over, man.
That's what's up, man.
You know, he's out there doing what he's doing, man. Yeah. So, you know, but yeah, he's always been like that. You know what I'm saying? That was without a doubt. We knew that.
No, for sure.
Yeah.
That's pretty dope. I mean, like, what was the question you had about?
Oh, about me?
Yeah.
I was saying, so like, just I don't know. I won't say out of your whole career. Well, just being at BYU.
Just being
been
at
BYU? Like in your football career?
Okay.
Like, who's been the toughest old lineman you faced besides me?
Besides you had to include that one. It's funny. Shoot.
It could even be in the game or like just your
whole
games
like
or in
from
games
BYU
or like
this season.
Nah,
you feel like?
It wouldn't be anybody we played against.
Okay.
Yeah,
Ooh,
100%. It's always
it's been practice.
The
practice and our spring practices, our fall camp practices. That's some of the best ball I've ever played. You know what I'm saying?
I understand, bro.
It's like, man, the iron sharpens iron, man.
Yeah, facts.
So how was it? Like, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, man, just individually, I can't just pick one.
Yeah,
I'll say just our O-line in general.
Yeah, that's what I was really gonna say.
O-line in general, man.
No, we got some dogs, bro, in the trenches, bro. Both sides of the ball, man.
Yeah, it's a good ball.
Speed round question. That's a speed round question, baby. I only got a few, so it ain't gonna be that crazy.
You can do that. What is it, like 10 seconds? 10 answer or what?
Yeah, we can do 10.
You give me 10?
I'll give you 10 seconds. I ain't gonna give you 10 questions, but it'll be 10 seconds.
10 seconds.
If you got any off your head, you can ask me.
Speed round, all right.
Bet. So I guess it's like a Canadian thing. I don't know if they got it out here in the U.S. or not, but it's either Tim Horton or Duncan.
Ooh, Tim Horton. Tim Horton, for sure.
I don't know how you pronounce this, but it's Poutine or nachos?
Poutine.
What is that? Is that like?
So it's fries with gravy and cheese curds.
Cheese curds?
Yeah. Some people, switch it up.
Yeah.
I actually have a burger with it on it. It's called the Bang and Bang.
You might have to make one for me.
It's at Chubby's.
At Chubby's, right?
Yeah, it's a Bang and Bang burger. They made me a burger.
We gotta try that.
It's
I saw that. Really?
Yeah,
Okay,
it's fine, man. Yeah, that's funny you brought that up.
Who's the funniest guy on the team?
Oh.
There's a lot of comedians on the team, bro.
It's
hard to choose from. There's a lot of jokes on the team, bro. But like, if you should choose one, who would you say is like, it's the funniest on the team?
I'd have to. I was gonna say Miles Davis.
Miles Davis is, bro.
For sure.
Yeah,
Miles Davis.
He's a clown,
that dude.
Yeah, he's crazy.
I love that kid, man.
All right. If you could sack one cartoon character, who would it be?
Sack?
That's a good one.
That's a good one. That is a good one.
Now, mind you, I said cartoon character, not person.
So, what's his name? Dr. Doofenshmirtz.
From
Doofenshmirtz.
Phineas and Ferb?
How do you say that?
Yeah,
from Phineas and Ferb.
Oh,
yeah.
wait.
I hated that dude.
I
hated that dude.
And now this is pretty much we know this answer. Who you think winning the Heisman?
So you obviously you played with Ashton Genty, and then we're playing against. I mean, you guys are probably scouting, playing against Travis Hunter.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I feel like you're in a position to give a pretty good answer.
Yeah. Like you watching films.
Yeah, I mean, I've already watched a couple of their games too. You know, and
from the season. Yeah.
He's nice, man.
Yeah.
Hey, on both sides of the ball, that's the crazy part. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
the thing, though, bro.
He's top 10 in the nation on both sides of the ball.
You know, like, I think I saw a stat where he was like, how many plays he's playing with like in a single
I think
game,
he averaged like 109.
Like, you don't see that, bro.
Bro, that's wild, bro.
You don't see
Could
that
you
in football
imagine?
like that.
109?
Bro, I don't care if you're hitting every play, you're still running.
Yes.
That much every single play,
Yes,
doing
bro.
all that. That's a lot.
Yeah, that's unbelievable.
Doing that 109 times, bro. Like that's crazy,
That's
bro.
It's
unbelievable.
just like it's crazy how he's just sustained it this whole season.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. 'Cause when he first came out the season doing that, I was like,
yeah,
that's dope. I feel that's dope.
That's
But it's like,
cool.
let's see how long it lasts. You know what I mean? That's really
but
where.
then this dude turned up.
really turned up like that.
And
like
he kept
the entire
getting better.
season.
You know what I'm saying? That's the crazy
He was
part.
getting better. Yeah, I was like, oh yeah, he liked that, bro.
Yeah. This is the thing, man. Because when is the Heisman announced? When is it picked?
I think
Do you know?
today or tomorrow.
Today or tomorrow?
Is it soon?
I think it's sometime this week. For sure.
Oh, I thought that was like
it was-
after like I thought it was in January or something.
It is?
I thought it was,
probably-
I thought it was
I'm just-
after college.
I'm
Yeah,
probably
after
tripping out.
the
But this is what I'm saying. Right now it's Travis Hunter.
Yeah.
But Ashton's only 100 and some yards away from breaking the all-time record,
Right. And
right?
yeah.
And so if he does get to the point, if he gets to the point where he beats that, you gotta give it to Ashton. You can't.
Yeah.
You can't give it to Travis. I know that's, you know what I'm saying, like, but might seem biased, but truthfully, man, you
it's
can't.
something
Yeah.
that's
You know what I'm
haven't
saying?
happened in like 30-some years
That's what I'm
since
saying,
Barry
bro.
Sanders, bro. So
Exactly. That's literally what I mean.
He's
you
beating
can't-
everybody's
Yeah.
in history.
Like that's a record
You know what I'm saying?
that
Like-
was at one point thought to be like unreachable. You know what I mean?
Right.
The record that's
Literally
like
top
one
of
point,
history.
yeah, exactly. It's been
A
how long, like
legend's-
30 plus years,
Yeah.
something like that. Like
a Legends record.
a Legends
You know what I'm
record.
saying?
It was definitely like
you can't just,
and to
like-
etch your name in that, like you know what I mean, in the record books, and to be able to break that, that's
Right.
that's big time.
Oh,
Now, I'm
yeah.
biased. I'm a
I'd
running
give
back
it to
myself,
him.
but
I
like
know.
I'll be real with you, man.
I
Like
was
I'm all Ashton
Yeah.
Dainty, man, and the fact that he's able to take his team, you know what I mean. Boise State obviously take his
yeah.
team to where they are now. They're number 3 seed in the college playoffs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I would have loved to be able to be there with them.
I was
I'll be
gonna
real with
say,
you, man.
fool.
I know all of you guys after the Big 12 championship game. Everyone
I
was
was
just
sick.
teed up about like, oh my gosh, I was sick, bro. I was sick to
I
my
was
stomach, wishing we was in that
I know,
game.
me too. I didn't even watch
You know,
it.
cars, yeah,
Because I
what?
couldn't. I was
Yeah,
like,
it was
I
hard,
can't
bro.
watch
I think I
this.
watched
This
the
is
first half, and it was like, yeah, I'm good off of this, bro. Like,
Yeah.
seeing Cam Scatterwood running all over these guys and seeing all this, I was like, all right, bro, I'm over this.
No kidding, huh?
But yeah, man, in my opinion, I feel like Ashton is that guy. Like,
Here's
dude.
the thing, too, though, is that I've played in the Mountain West before.
Right.
Yeah.
And I've also played in the Big 12.
That's true.
It's
That's a good
different
perspective,
ball,
yeah.
man. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying Boise State isn't good.
Yeah.
I'm not saying they can't compete with, P4 schools. I'm not saying that.
Yeah.
However, though, I am saying, though, that the competition that Travis Hunter went against
Compared
was
to
better than the competition that Ashton went against.
and he was
No
yeah.
knock on Ashton, no knock on Boise State Broncos, man.
Yeah.
Hey, they're doing their thing.
Yeah.
But regardless, we played Wyoming. You remember what happened versus Wyoming?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
It's
and they
gonna come
almost
down
lost
to
to
the wire,
them.
bro.
Yeah.
Boise State almost lost to them.
No, I
You see
get
what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
it's kind of like there's different. And,
Yeah,
and
it's true.
Travis Hunter is doing this against, some of the quarterbacks that, I wouldn't say diced us up, truthfully, but diced a lot of other dudes up.
Yeah,
you know
yeah,
what I'm
yeah.
saying? So,
No, that's true. That's a
when
really
you,
good.
when you think about that factor, though, it's
yeah,
kind of like
that is a good factor. Yeah.
But regardless, he is still breaking records.
He is, bro. And it's not like, I mean, like you watch the tape, bro. Like it's not like he's breaking the big runs, going like breaking tackles. And I think the biggest thing too is like, look at what he did when he played against Oregon. They're number 1 in the country.
That is facts.
You know what I mean? Yeah, they lost the game, but look what he did individually. You know what I mean? And what was he able to do and keep them in the game and I don't know. Then
Keep them in the
for me,
game.
that's why I was like, that's kind of like. I get that is a factor, but then you also got to consider like when they played against Oregon, the number 1 team right now in the playoff bracket. You know what I mean? So it
Absolutely.
kind of just goes to show like he was able to do it
But
on
you know
that
who else
stage.
played
You know what I
Oregon
mean?
hard?
Who?
Idaho Vandals.
Yeah, they did though. You're right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's true. It's like one of those
You
things.
see what I'm
but
saying,
that's
man?
college football. I feel like you feel
Right.
me. Like anybody can win on any given day.
Exactly. It's not how you start, that's how you finish. You know what I'm saying? A lot of teams at the start of the season, you know how it
Yeah.
is. Especially with
Oh,
new
facts.
guys, you gotta figure your way
yeah.
out through things. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, for
you
sure.
use certain games to do that, right?
Yep.
And then towards the end of the season, that's when everybody's bought in.
Yep.
Your team's established.
Exactly.
So but talent wise, yeah, you're right, 100%.
No,
100%.
facts, bro.
It's crazy. So
All right, bro. So we got a couple more. I guess the next one we can talk is like, obviously you came from Boise State. Now you're here, you're being under Jay Hill's defense and so on, and K-pop is your guys' position coach and things of that sort. And I don't know, I'm pretty sure you know this by now. K-pop has a lot of experience with coaching some guys that ended up playing at the next level, making big impact the next level. Kyle Van Noy, you know what I mean? Other guys like Jonah Takitaki, Fred Warner, and Harvey Lange, you know what I mean? Some pretty solid names that left their legacy here at BYU and did what they did. How is it like learning from K-pop and being in that room, and how is the, you know what I mean, I guess the mentality when it comes to how you approach the game under him, I guess.
Yeah. It's cool actually because I had him at Boise State.
Yeah.
And, I didn't know anything about him really, especially, at the time I was playing Will Backer. So he was the edge coach, but I was with the linebackers at the time, right? And then, I didn't actually get to have a real relationship with him and like see how he was coaching until we really came to BYU, where he was, in his element, I call it. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is his spot, man. You know what I'm saying? This is where so like at Boise State, I kind of saw, what he's got going, you know what I'm saying? Type of mind he has. But then I came here, and then when he really, had his own thing going, you know what I'm saying? He could really be himself and coach the way he needs to.
Want to,
Like, man, it's been a really cool experience, you know what I'm saying? I've been with him for 3 years now, man. Every year he continues to really like know his stuff, and he even learns, you know what I'm saying? It's crazy, man. He learns, and then, he's really good at applying that and adding it to, what he knows and his knowledge, you know what I'm saying? And it honestly makes you want to play more for him, play harder for him. Right? And also, like I said, he just knows his stuff, you know what I'm saying? Like, in pass rush game, and just being a football player all around. You know what I'm saying? A lot of coaches that I've had, especially, they're really, it's not that worrying about the fundamentals and technique is a bad thing. Obviously, it's not. It always comes down to that. However, though, you can't be a robot.
You can't,
You know what I'm saying? You can't be a robot. You got to be out there playing. You know what I'm saying? You got to be instinct. Have instincts with it. And so, that's one thing that I really appreciate about K-pop, because he's a football player. You know what I'm saying? He's done it himself. He knows what it's like. Right? So it's really cool, man. And I appreciate having him for sure as my coach.
Hell yeah, bro. That's dope. I like K-pop. I think I don't know if you guys know, people out there know this, but K-pop is also our special teams coordinator. You know what I mean? And he's a dang good one. And like we talked about this on the first episode, but special teams, I feel like the emphasis on special teams and the way we attack special teams is the reason why we're good overall as a team. I think attribute a lot of our success from this season to how good and it all started from the way he approaches special teams, the way he coaches. So I always wonder, like, how was he in the defensive, as a defensive end coach, position coach, because just how intense and detail oriented he is with the special teams, and you need to be, you know what I mean? So I think that's super dope to be able to learn from him, and that's hella cool, bro.
Yeah. The thing is, he is pretty intense, especially in those special team meetings, but in a position meeting, he's a little more laid back. You know what I'm saying? He's a little more, chill, cool, you know what I'm saying? Chopping up with the guys.
Bro, like, he's intense on special teams.
I know, bro. Special teams, that's like that's a different K-pop.
He loves that.
Sometimes he'll show a video and he gets everybody laughing. He said, no, I'm serious, guys. I'm
literally.
We're not supposed to laugh. I'm like, dang.
Right. Oh, man, it's funny. He can flip the switch like that.
Nah, that's what's up, bro. No, that's good. But I guess this next question is for like our viewers out there, like the youngins that are, obviously they have aspirations to be at this level and to play. But like, what are some of the biggest things that help you, or I guess like what is your like mantras that help you, get to where you are now and stay grounded in whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish, especially being here at BYU, being a collegiate athlete, and then whatever else you got going on in your life. Like what helps you, things that you say to yourself, mantras, things like that sort, that's helped you get to where you are now?
That's a good question. I think a lot of the reason for why I keep going and keep overcoming and trying to become better every day, right, is because I have to understand what my purpose is, truthfully. You know what I'm saying? Like, I believe my purpose is to be in a position where I can impact other people on a positive note. You know what I'm saying? In a positive manner. And in order for me to do that to, you know, the standard that I want to, the goals that I want to do, you know what I'm saying? I have to, because like there's one saying is like you can't help nobody if you can't help yourself first, you know what I'm saying? Or you can't love somebody unless you love yourself first, right? It all starts from within internally first, right? And then it can grow to outside. And so, you know, kind of just understanding that and, you know, understanding that I need to be on my P's and Q's and, you know, do what I got to do so that I can do that for somebody. I can be there for someone else. I can, you know what I'm saying, be right-minded, you know, or being in the financial situation, you know what I'm saying, being in a spot where I'm so good that I can help other people if they need it. You know what I'm saying? Because, man, especially being here at BYU and, you know, this is why I love the education at BYU, man, because, you know, you learn like a whole nother perspective to so many different things. And in one of my classes, bro, it was like, it was my sociology class and we kind of just went into, you know, how like homeless people, how they go about, you know, finding food. Like some people like live off of $20 a month. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Trying just like, and they have kids, you know what I'm saying? No crib, nothing like that, right? And man, one thing that I learned from like all these different studies and, you know, research things that I've done and been able to participate in, like truthfully, it just comes down to people needing help, man. You know? Everybody needs help, you know what I'm saying? And the thing is, you ain't even gotta be a homeless person to need help. Oh yeah. You know what I'm saying? It could be your next door neighbor, you know what I'm saying? It could be your mom's, you know what I'm saying? Whatever, your dad, whatever, you know what I'm saying? And so like, just with that knowledge, man, understanding that and believing in that and believing that, you know, God put me on this earth for that purpose, that's what kind of keeps me going. So if you just remember that, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not about you. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You can be great, but in order to be great, it can't be for you, man. Yeah, exactly. You know what I'm saying? So just being intentional with that and remembering that there's a bigger picture to it and, you know, you got to work for it, you got to earn it. Yeah. But it'll be worth it at the end. That's for sure.
I love that, bro. So I feel like that comes down to like my mom and my parents would always teach us growing up, like there's nothing like that brings more joy in your life than serving others, you know what I mean? And that's something I totally agree. I mean, I feel like you're basically saying that, you know, the biggest thing is just to like understand that. If you understand that as a core value for yourself, I feel like everything else is just a tangent to that, you know what I mean? Everything else you do, you know what I mean? Decisions you make, as long as it doesn't jeopardize that core value of you, I mean, it doesn't matter what it is, you know what I mean? I think you're going to be successful in anything that you do, you know what I mean? Facts. As long as that's like the driving factor, one of the driving factors behind it. So I think that's game right there, y'all, man. Pick that up, bro.
No, facts.
You know what I'm saying?
With everything that we've already, you know, talked about, all that stuff, what do you feel like is the biggest, I guess, like challenge, like out of your whole journey to get to now, or even now here at BYU, or maybe now that you're always transitioning to, you know what I mean, getting prepared for the next level and things of that sort. Like, what do you feel like is the biggest challenge that you faced or are facing now, or still whatever facing, it is? And you know what I mean. What are you doing right now to, I guess, like overcome that? Or, you know what I'm saying.
Truthfully, man, the odds, and I know that sounds like okay, you know what I'm saying. Like, I don't want that to sound corny or that, but truthfully, man, like, nah, it's something where, you know, I kind of have to remind myself, especially right now in this process, man, like, you know, I've come so far, you know, I came from, you know, a little city in a different country, you know, done all these things, you know, even education wise, you know, I've got my degree, I've got all these things, I've been able to do these things that I had no business doing, truthfully, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, I've overcame those odds, truthfully, right? And, you know, everybody has their own story, but just for me, you know what I'm saying? So, like, it is every, you know, even before the season, you know, during fall camp, you know, I got to remind myself, like, yo, you know what I'm saying? You're coming back to be better, you know what I'm saying? You got to humble yourself. But no, you can do it, you know what I'm saying? And that's not an easy thing to do. And as you guys know, as everybody knows, truthfully, you know what I'm saying? Like, obviously, any challenge isn't easy to just overcome, right? And so, man, that's just been something that I've been constantly having to do, you know, on all phases of my life, throughout my life, not just college, you know what I'm saying? And even on physical aspects, emotional aspects, you know what I'm saying? And so right now it's kind of in a spot where, okay, you know, the season's come to a close. You know, we still have a bowl game, right?
Yeah.
But I still, you know, have a desire to play in the league, do everything I can to get there, right?
Yeah.
And even if it might not look the way that, you know, I wanted to, you know what I'm saying, I still believe that I can make it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm sitting here, I'm like, man, sometimes, you know, that's like a kind of a scary thought, truthfully. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like, man, this is my like dream. You know, I worked my whole life for this, man. You start to get a little discouraged, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. But, you know, I kind of sit there and remind myself, I'm like, man, like, first of all, regardless of what's going to happen, I'm gonna be all right. God's got me, right? Because I've given this whole path to God. You know, everything that's going to happen. You know what I'm saying? So, good or bad. But I tell myself, like, why? If I've done this my whole life, why would I stop believing now? You know what I'm saying? Why would I? What gives me the validation to, you know, just stop? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? My whole life I've done that, right? And so that's kind of just, it's funny that you brought that up because I was literally just, you know, I have a podcast too. And so last night I was just talking about it too, and I was like, man, like, why would I stop now? Yeah. Right? And so with that being said, man, that's kind of what, you know, challenges I'm overcoming and I have overcome before. You know, that's just the way I process it, going about it.
Oh yeah, bro.
Yes, sir.
So like pick up off that, like who's like, is there anybody like that helps you like through that journey? Like just like family or something, like who's been that support to help you overcome, like, or you just did it all on your own? Like,
nah, I mean, I definitely didn't truthfully do it on my own. Of course, you know, I've had a ton of help along the way, you know what I'm saying? At times it definitely did feel like I was doing it by myself, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes you do have to do it by yourself, right? Yeah. But specifically, not really, man. I mean, I have my mom, you know what I'm saying? She's there around, you know what I'm saying, listening to me whenever I need to chat. But yeah, man, it's not really, especially during college, you know, because I'm in a different country. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Especially when COVID hit, like I was by myself like the whole time, like for that 2 months in quarantine, you know what I'm saying? You know, I don't really go home for Christmas stuff. You know what I'm saying? So like in those regards, physically, in person, nah, not really. You know what I'm saying? But I've been blessed, man. I've had God with me the whole way, so that's all that really matters, you know?
Now your mom, she knows a lot of football, or
nah,
she don't.
Nah, she doesn't. She just sit there and watch 13, man. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, obviously, like coming from where you've been, I'm expecting that you're probably the first to do this.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like this, you know what I mean? I don't think you didn't have like an example in front of you, like someone who's probably made it into the league. Or, you know what I mean? And so like the fact that you're navigating this as a first gen, you know what I mean? As your first time, you know what I mean? There's challenges in itself, you know what I mean?
Presented.
So
absolutely.
And I think there's a lot of how would you say, like self-talk and self like affirmations that you gotta continue to, you know what I mean? So I guess that brings us to our, I guess, final 2-part question, you know what I mean? Going into this, right? So the first one is just, what would you tell yourself if you can go back to the freshman year you, right? Coming out of high school and stuff like that, what's one piece of advice would you tell yourself? And then after that, I mean, just talk about very quickly what are your goals now? You know what I mean? Now that the season's coming to an end, we're getting to, you know, bowl game prep, and you got other things lined up, and you know what I mean, we're preparing for the pro day and all that stuff. Like, what are your goals? Not just in football, but just life overall, I guess. You know,
I like that. You know, goals. I'll start with the goals one first. You know, I definitely, you know, have a goal to still pursue my professional career, you know what I'm saying, this next season. That's my main goal, you know, that I've had my whole life, right? You know, beyond that though, I do have a goal of having my own family someday, you know what I'm saying, whether that's, you know, soon or late, whatever, you know what I'm saying. I do plan to have that, you know. I have goals of, you know, having different, you know, honestly, businesses. You know, there's a lot of things I want to do, a lot of ways I can help people, you know what I'm saying, or in as many ways as I can, right? And yeah, man, truthfully, that's, and truthfully to just be like the best father and husband I could be, right? The best man that I can possibly be in all phases, right? Like how you do one thing is how you do everything, right? And that's true, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm still learning, you know, and be better. I mean, shoot, I'm only 23. We all are, right? I'm only 23, so I got a lot more learning to do, right? But I one of my goals is to get to that point, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's those are my life goals. Truthfully,
Let's go, man.
It's pretty simple, but you know, that's me,
That's perfect.
right?
That's awesome. Yeah.
But advice that I give to my 18-year-old self, man, honestly, is to give yourself grace and be humble, and know that everything is gonna be all right if you give it to God.
Yep.
If you give your life, everything, career, you know what I'm saying, everything to God, and just live through grace and seeing the blessings in your life, your perspective is gonna change. And everything in life is all about mindset, perspective. I mean, that's why I love football so much, man, because it's a testimony to that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, football is all about the mind, how mental state, you know, how you think, how you react, everything, right? How you go about certain things, the decisions you make. And that's just like in life too, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, you decide how you want to wake up this morning and go about your day. You know what I'm saying? Nobody can say it. Nobody can tell you. You know what I'm saying? You can decide today's gonna be a crappy day, and you walk outside, the sun's out. You know what I'm saying? The weather's good.
Exactly.
It's good vibes, but you're stuck in this mindset, right?
It's your decision.
Or it could be cloudy outside. It could be raining, and you wake up and be like, man, I love the rain.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like, truthfully, you might hate the rain, but it's all about how you see it, man. You know, and I feel like it makes it a lot easier for me, you know, to change my perspective to a positive aspect when I'm living through grace and humbling myself. You know what I'm saying? Being appreciative and acknowledging all the blessings in my life, man. You know what I'm saying? Because, man, a lot of people don't have a lot of things. Right. You know what I'm saying? Some people have nothing. You know, so like, truthfully, when you really sit there and think about, like, man, how dare I, truthfully, you know what I'm saying? How dare I sit here and, you know, feel bad for myself?
Or judge somebody.
Or, you know what I'm saying? Or judge somebody. Or, you know, So with that, in those regards, man, it's living through grace, you know, being humble and, you know, having a positive perspective. And that'll improve your life by 1,000 times.
Agreed, man. 100%.
You know what I'm saying?
Hey, man. Seriously, though, Jose, we appreciate you, bro, for dropping some game, man. Gems, bro.
Yes,
I mean, that's things that I
y'all.
feel like us as players, you know, as college athletes, students, and things of that sort, we've learned throughout our journey here. You know what I mean? Like, I would love to. I mean, I think anybody would, to go back to 5 years ago, 4 years ago, you know what I mean? With the knowledge I know now, with things that I know now, with the understanding, the perspective that I have now, right? And so, you know, I think what's important is that we were able to pass that knowledge on to the next generation, you know what I mean? For them to be great and for, you know what I mean, things of that sort. And so I appreciate Zay, man. Shout out to Zay for real, man, because he's one of the dogs on the team, bro, that I honestly love talking to, man. Every time I conversate with Zay, it's always good vibes, no matter what. And so, the dog, we appreciate Zay for coming on and being here with us, man. And just blessing us with your grace, man, with your presence, bro.
Yeah.
So
Thank you,
appreciate
appreciate y'all, boys.
Yes, sir.
Boy, Zay coming to the league, taking over.
Yes, sir.
You know it.
Coming to a team near you guys, bro.
Yes, sir, man.
Thank you for watching another episode of Inside the Y with Center Street Media. Catch us on Spotify, YouTube, and Apple Music. Hope you enjoyed. See you soon.